fellow book lovers, welcome back to the Bibliovert channel. My name is Jacqueline, and for today's video, I don't know about you, but I feel like I have become a little bit overwhelmed by my to-do list. And so I decided that for today that I'm going to pare it down and really just choose kind of the stuff that I love, the fun things, the things that bring me joy. And I'm just going to do kind of a more manageable spring reset. It's Sunday, it's fairly early, so I feel like I could accomplish a lot of things, and then by the end I just want to feel like I have checked a lot of stuff off of my to-do list. So some things we have on the to-do list: I would love to do a spring clean of my house. I feel like my office has gotten a little bit messy. Just need to do a lot of laundry, do not necessarily like a deep clean of everything, but like a nice clean, you know, that like I'm not gonna focus too much on cleaning the baseboards and things like that, but you know, just getting everything orderly, things having a space. And then I am going to try and tackle a bunch of stuff for Bibliovert. So Bibliovert Instagram, obviously this channel. I also have a Bibliovert games where I do a lot of like Animal Crossing. I've started playing Bacopia. I want to do a few other things, and I have been wanting to stream over on that channel for the last month and a half, and I have just been so nervous, so I keep putting it off. But I think if I start doing my research, start kind of planning out some stuff, making my streaming schedule, all of those things, that maybe it'll push me to do it and hold me accountable. So that kind of stuff. I'm gonna do some admin work for that, go ahead and just kind of get my head organized and also the space organized. So I have found that one of the best ways for me to be held accountable is by doing it this way. Being I have to do it because I'm doing it here. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. Also, and I think I'm probably going to talk about this in another video about ways that I feel like I've been holding myself back. But one of them is I always feel like if I can't get the perfect B-roll, if it's not perfectly aesthetic, then I shouldn't use it. And also how do I make things more aesthetic? Do I need to have a more aesthetic home? No, you don't. You don't need to go out and buy more things to be more aesthetic to then have perfect B-roll. And I was watching some of my favorite creators recently, and I was their B-roll was a little bit shaky. The colors weren't perfect, and guess what? I ate it up. Their B-roll was repetitive. Guess what? I loved it. I'm there for them. I'm not there for the B-roll. So this is also going to be a challenge for myself of being it's okay if it's not perfect. It's okay if you question your own artistic ability. It literally doesn't matter. You're just doing this for fun. It's just a hobby. You're having a good time. Don't stress about it. So thank you for going along with me on this journey. But let's just go ahead and get started. I'm also going to be re-listening to the audiobook for Project Hail Mary. I loved it. I have not seen the movie yet, and I wanted to do a reread before going to see the movie. So that's what I'm going to be listening to today. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. of some clothes. I don't wear all of these. I also, like, way back here, these are all of my, like, in-office clothes. I work fully remote now for a nonprofit, so I don't really need a ton of business casual, but I do want to keep some just in case. But I'm just gonna go through everything, and if I haven't worn it in the last year, then it's going bye-bye. So let's do it. I don't know what it is, but when I clean, I get so sweaty. So it's a good thing that I am going to shower after this. But I just realized I did not go through my chest of drawers for clothes that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to do that real fast. Also, Connor was really sweet, and he just told me that he booked tickets for us to go see Project Hail Mary tonight at 6:30. It's currently 2, and I have 5 hours left of the audiobook. Good news, I think for the most part, I remember the end fairly well. I just want to get through like most of the audiobook. So going to clean out my drawers. Okay, so bad news, my phone died, which means I can't continue listening to my audiobook. So I switched to my camera, so if the audio is a little different, I'm so sorry. But I finished cleaning out the drawers, I cleaned the bathroom, and I am freshly showered. Also, I had to talk about these PJs. They are my new obsession. They are Charlie and Fox Co's PJs. I literally live in them. I love them so much. Definitely go check them out because they are fabulous. But now I'm going to do like my post-shower stuff and then hop into kind of like admin-y kind of things. I've done a horrible job eating today, so I just made a little something, and thankfully, even though my phone is still charging, I can play my audiobook through my computer. So I will now be listening to it this way while I just work on some stuff for Bibliovert, which is so exciting. I am going to say this. I do think I'm going to, when Connor had booked the tickets, I sped it up a little bit more, which I can still comprehend everything. But I realized like I was enjoying it so much at the slower pace, which it was like very slow. I may not have even changed it. Like it may have been the original setting that it was on, but like, it was just spectacular. So I may actually slow it back down. The movie's in 3 hours. I'm not going to be able to finish it, so I'm just going to slow it back down, take my time, have fun with it. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is work on the Instagram content first. There are a few like carousel kind of things I want to do. And when we were in Ireland 2 weeks ago, Connor was very sweet and took a bunch of like really great pictures. So I think I'm going to use some of those in it. And I think once I get those 2 things done and kind of like get my brain around scheduling and everything that like I need to have done, then we'll see what I'll move on to next. I'm not quite sure. He's watching him sleep. Okay, so I didn't quite get through everything that was on my list for Bibliovert stuff. I think that I'm going to push back streaming by a week and start, not this week, but next week, because Connor and I are trying to buy a car. And I leave on Thursday super, super early. We are selling both of our cars tonight. And if I streamed on Wednesday, then that would really only leave Tuesday to like do some car shopping before I'm gone for the entire weekend. And so I just didn't want to limit him in terms of like, if he Wednesday afternoon was like, hey, let's go look at some cars. And I was like, hey, I can't. So I think I'm going to push it back a week, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But overall, I'm just really, really grateful for, oh, did we see a bird? We saw a bird. But overall, I'm just really, really grateful for kind of like feeling like my head is in order. My house is in order. Spring clean, went through stuff. So feeling really happy about that. Also, Project Hail Mary, the movie. I think that I cried probably for 95% of the movie, just like constantly in a state of like tears just streaming down my face. This is the second weekend in a row where a clean sweatshirt I got dirty because I was like wiping my face to gather all of my tears. And I had to put it in the laundry. It was so good. It was so, so good. I think it captures the emotion of Project Hail Mary really, really well, because I was trying to think about it. I don't think I cried while listening to the book. I may have for one scene regarding Rocky, but I think for the most part, I don't think I cried. And so truly to like, it really gathered that really, really well. It was so beautiful. Everything was shot really well. I think Ryan Gosling did a phenomenal job, especially because he was alone acting for like the majority of the movie. So I thought that that was incredible. There were two things that I personally just would have liked to see, and that this is definitely like, this was just how I perceived aspects of the book. But I think that one thing that the movie did really, really well was to kind of show the quirks of Ryland Grace, and, you know, how so much of him, he is just kind of like this average guy. And I think that they did a really great job with that. I think what I would have personally liked to have seen a little bit more, and I'm shocked that these words are coming out of my mouth, but they are, is how much he loved science and math. Like when he wakes up from the coma in the first chapter, he immediately starts doing math, and he can't find any paper, so he's doing it on his hands, he's doing it on his arms, he's literally writing it on the walls. And I just think that like his tenacity and his love and his like fascination with space and all of that kind of stuff, I wish that it was portrayed maybe just a little bit more. And I know why they did it. It is a little bit of a spoiler, so I'm not going to go into details with that, but I wish that those two things maybe could have been like balanced just a little bit more personally. But I mean, it was phenomenal. The second one was Strat. I love Strat, and don't get me wrong, they did a fantastic job portraying Strat. The acting was phenomenal, like so good. It was also one of those where like I just wish it was turned up just a little bit more. Like same thing with Ryland Grace, like turn it up to 11, turn Strat up to 11 as well, because she genuinely was one of my favorite parts of this book. And I wish that the movie highlighted just how powerful she is. That like she had complete immunity. Like that court scene, I know, like I understand that they couldn't have had that like in the movie, but the court scene was like such a mic drop moment for her. And so much of like her personality was like what do you mean I can't do that? Like, of course I can. Like, I don't report to anyone. The whole world essentially reports to me. I can do whatever I want. But like, she never goes on a power trip. Like, she always has, it's very much like such a fascinating philosophical question of, or like ethical question of like, do the ends justify the means? And in this case, when the ends would be like the destruction of the world, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure anything would be justified in that case, as long as, you know, the whole world doesn't go kaput. So anyway, I just wish that like it was emphasized just that much more of how badass Strat is, because it's so good. I love her so much. But no, like, it was so fun. Again, I like had a little bit of a crying headache last night, because it was just kind of like this constant, and the sniffles that you could hear throughout the movie theater, I was just like, yes, like, we are all in this together. We are all just sniffling our way through it. So I mean, obviously, like, it's a fairly large book. You are not going to be able to get every single sentiment or scene or thing like that emphasized in a movie that's just 3 hours long. Like, I mean, it makes sense. And so I think for the most part, like, some of the things that were cut, like, would I have loved to see it? Yes, but like, I also understand. So I thought it was like really, really beautiful. And just like really, really fun. So anyway, it was a blast coming back last night and talking to Connor about it in the car, and just being like, I think you would love it. I think you would love the audiobook. And so fingers crossed he's going to read it, because he really liked the movie. And like, wow, the movie, again, like, truly one of the best book to movie adaptations I've truly ever seen. But it would be hard for anything to beat the book. So I think the book wins out just a little bit, in my opinion, but it's just because it can like go into those relationships and those dynamics a little bit deeper. So one thing that I really loved about the movie that wasn't from the book, I loved Carl. Like, I loved that dynamic. Even the last scene that we see of Carl and Rylan Grace together, absolute heartbreaker. But I thought that was like a great like human touch point to add throughout the movie, and I really enjoyed that. So I have continued listening to the audiobook this morning, and like, just, it's now so fun to kind of like get to picture how different things are. I almost like want to try and find something, which I'm sure it's on the internet, but try and find like book accurate depictions of things, because I think, from what I understood, Blip A in the movie is depicted a little bit differently, which, like, it was gorgeous, so like, not mad about that. But I'm just kind of like, okay, well, that's not how I imagined it. And so I'm just like curious. I want to kind of be like, how did Andy Weir have it in his brain while he was writing the book? And then the Project Hail Mary, when it starts spinning to create the centrifuge to have gravity, I kind of imagined it differently, but a lot of it was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to imagine it. And I did not imagine that it was the entire ship flipping over itself the way that it did in the movie. I thought it was like parts of it detach, and then it kind of like forms, and then on the inside starts smack. I don't know. So anyway, I'm kind of curious to like check those things out, but like, I'm sure I'll be able to find something that like explains it. But anyway, it was so great. I had so much fun. It had been years since I had gone to the movies, and it was just like a fun little date night. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I forgot maybe the most important thing about Project Hail Mary, and that was Rylan Grace's slutty little glasses. How did he perch them the way that he did on, like, he would do one ear? I'm grabbing my own glasses. I'm not going to be able to see because I have contacts in, but like, he would do it down like this. Obviously, he made it look cool, but it was slutty. Slutty. Also, the scene where Strat is singing karaoke, if Ryan Gosling looked at me that way, like over his glass, swoon. But with that said, that is it for this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was just such a nice kind of like start to the week, getting everything in order, and I just like really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope that this week is just a really great one for you, that you, whatever feels like maybe is weighing down your shoulders or your brain or your heart, that you're able to lift it off and set it aside for a little while, because there's a lot going on in the world right now and it can be really hard to find joy in things. And so I just hope that you're able to take some deep breaths and find some peace this week. And lastly, if you would like to learn a little bit more about us, you can check us out over on Instagram at the Bibliovertpodcast. We also have another YouTube channel called the Bibliovert Games. I've mentioned it a couple of times. If you enjoy gaming and kind of more like the cozy games, I definitely recommend going and checking that out as well. And we also have a Patreon that is just such a bright spot. Because of the people who are in it. They are just so incredible. They're from all over the world, and it is the most delightful group of humans, and the love and the support is just unbelievable, and we always have room for one more in our family. We do monthly book buddy reads. We have 2 Patreon exclusive episodes every single month that happen, and then we also have a chat where you can meet and love and be loved by all of the other people in the group, and it's just really wonderful, and we'd love for you to come join us. But with that said, I hope you have a fantastic day, happy reading, and I will see you next time.